Hi, it's Olga Zar from SEO Sly. So in this video, I want to show you JetOctopus, how to use it to analyze core web vitals on your website. JetOctopus is a very powerful SEO crawler and log file analyzer. This is the fastest crawler. If you integrate it with Google Search Console data, you can really become a super powerful SEO and learn a ton of interesting things about the sites and have a lot of insights. So let's take a look at Core Web Vitals. But before I get started, a thing about Core Web Vitals. So, like 2 years ago, I think in May 2021, Core Web Vitals officially became a ranking factor. And like everyone was going crazy about that, including me, that, oh, Core Web Vitals, now we need to have everything green because we will lose rankings. A ton of people were going crazy about that. I saw a lot of agencies even sell their services for improving core web vitals. They were like telling their clients that unless you have 100% in PageSpeed Insights, this artificial kind of version of core web vitals, you will be penalized by Google. That it's horrible. Of course, time told us, my observation, my experiments, everything kind of proves to be just a, I would say, a very, very, very tiny thing that usually doesn't really move the needle. The takeaway for you is that unless your site is like painfully slow, that it is impossible for, let's say, a person at a bus stop to use it, then you have a problem. You probably need to fix that. But unless it's so slow, you don't have to worry about. It's the worst use of time and resources to trying to fix your site over and over just to get that green score in PageSpeed Insights or in Google Search Console. And of course, regarding Core Web Vitals, we have lab data and Google PageSpeed Insights. This is measured on an emulated device and it has usually nothing to do with reality. And every time you run this report, you may get a different score, and it really means nothing. It can give you some general guidance about the things you may improve. Like if you don't have caching, it will tell you don't have caching. If you have very huge images, it will tell you you have very huge images. And there is field data, which is collected from your actual users. And this is definitely way more impactful, important. So core vitals, all core vitals are measured from real users. And this is the information you have in Google Search Console. And sometimes you can see it if you have enough traffic. You will also see it in Google PageSpeed Insights, like in this summary, whether core vitals are passed for that specific URL. I've seen tons of sites that have all the green core vitals, but totally suck at SEO and vice versa. So this is something nice to have, but not definitely something you should prioritize. But with that said, JetOctopus lets you quickly take a larger look, like a general look at what's going on, or quickly retest without using separately Google Search Console, looking for specific core vital report, like analyzing the sampling. You can have it all in JetOctopus. Also, the data you have in PageSpeed Insights, so you can also view lab data and field data. With that said, let's get started and let me show you how you can analyze core web vitals in JetOctopus. So all you need to do is you have to go to JetOctopus to your project, then you go to tools, and there is core web vitals tool. And this is basically what you are interested in. So you go to overview and it simply gives you the overview of your core web vitals. So you need to have your data connected. You need to have JetOctopus connected to GSC to have like the full picture. You basically go to overview and you can see the overview of your core web vitals. It is nice because it shows both field data and lab data. So here you can, for example, rerun your page speed insights for lab data. Here is, for example, the data. I think this is outdated for my site, so I will quickly rescan it. I'm very curious to see what it looks like. Start analysis, core web vitals, core vitals. I have 89 URLs. It is important that this is one of those tools that allows you to analyze speed in bulk, because usually with page speed insights you can just analyze one page. So you have to like copy and paste every page to see how it's doing. Here JetOctopus lets you to do that in bulk, so it's super useful. So this is the old data, but it's still, I think, showing you what I wanted to show you. So total pages. So this is the total pages JetOctopus was able to analyze. The average score. So on average, my pages had 76 score in Google PageSpeed Insights, and how many pages were in the red area. So usually we would say that if you are in all red, everything is red, your site loads in 20 seconds, then probably you may want to put some priority on Core Web Vitals. So pages with poor score breakdown, so I can see like how many pages pass, how many pages are on average, how many fail. And there is field data, which is also important, so I can see how many pages actually have field data, because to be able to see the field data, you actually need to have some traffic. So if I have more than 89 pages on my site, but only the 89 have enough traffic to have field data shown. So here's the field data from the last 28 days. So this is the real user data measured by Chrome User Experience Report. So as you can see again, first contentful paint, here is largest contentful paint, FID, and cumulative layout shift. Soon there is going to be a new Core Web Vital metric, interaction to next paint. Not that soon, in March 2024. So as soon as it becomes a ranking factor, it kind of joins the Core Web Vitals family. You will have it added here, and lab data. So in lab data, not all of the Core Web Vitals metrics can be measured in lab. So for example, first input delay cannot really be measured in lab. So you have something that is kind of a counterpart, which is time to first byte, for example, time to interactive, total blocking time. So we have them here, and we have those other metrics. So basically that's all I need regarding Core Vitals. And my analysis, my conclusion from that is I don't need to worry about that. But this is an important thing. What's so special about JetOctopus Core Web Vitals? So as I said, you are able to analyze a bulk of URLs with just one click, not just by URL. And it really saves a ton of time and gives you the opportunity to get Core Web Vitals insights for like the entire segment, the entire folder, or the entire website. And another important thing, JetOctopus lab data is calculated with the help of Google API, not your computer. So if you have a very slow computer, slow connection, the lab data may be skewed, may look very bad, even though it's in reality it's way better. So this is true because when it is calculated with a computer, as I said, it depends on the state of your computer, internet speed, and other factors. And you can easily, with JetOctopus, start Core Web Vitals and analysis from any filtered list of URLs. All you have to do is click on Core Web Vitals. So super useful. You just filter the list of pages into, let's say, blog post. You click Core Web Vitals, and bam, you have the information about Core Web Vitals. Here you have just the information about lab data. Here you can see the analysis in progress. So I have just started the analysis, and the analysis of all the pages is running. Here, more clearer reports. First, contentful paint, poor, good, needs improvement, insights. So this is where you can read into some insights and maybe draw some conclusions. So for example, I can see that like the score. I can sort it by score from the best to the worst one. I can see first contentful paint, largest contentful paint, all those metrics. So this is very useful. Of course, I can add other filters like page URL contains. So insights, lab data, overview. One more thing. So if you are in overview, total pages, you click on view pages, and you see all the pages with some speed analysis that was done for them. So you can see all of them, score, everything. The analysis is still running, so it will take probably a couple of more minutes, but This is, I think, more or less everything you need. So you just need a like general overview if things are like totally tragic, everything is red, and those lab data are like really like I once saw a website that has 60 seconds or even more than 60 seconds, more than a minute for some of those metrics. So in those cases, you probably want to take action. But in majority of cases, if you are like mostly orange, like you totally can neglect that and just focus on improving your site overall for users, improving content, improving conversions. Of course, core web vitals can impact conversions if the site is painfully slow. But as I said, in many cases, this is not that important. This is definitely overhyped. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.